Good thankful Thursday morning. Grenada, Caracol, PT, Martinique. Bless up your spicy cells on what is going to be a good day. Trust me, speak it into existence. Positivity. Have a positive outlook on what today would bring for you. It's the 7th day of the 10th month, 2021. 7 is a lucky number for a few people. So let's see if it works out today as well. Just think positively. Good morning. All of our viewers, whichever platform you're using this morning, Facebook, YouTube, the website, GBN TV, Classic 105, Party Grenada, Go to Fed Facebook pages. Thank you very much, whichever platform you are on. Those of you joining us across the Caribbean, whichever part of the region you are, a spicy Grenadian 473 morning to you. And those of you joining us internationally, good morning, good afternoon, good night. Hope you will have a good day, are having a good day, have had a good day. 20 minutes to 7 o'clock. Let's get straight into the word of the day. This morning's word of the day is metal. Metal. It's spelled M-E-T-T-L-E. Metal. It's a noun which refers to the ability to continue in spite of difficulties. Amen. Metal, to continue to power through. Originally, metal was simply a variant word of spelling of the word metal, and it was used in all of the same senses as its metallic relative. Over time, however, metal, M-E-T-T-L-E, came to be used mainly in figurative senses, referring to the quality of someone's character. It eventually became a distinct English word in its own right, losing its literal sense altogether. Metal, M-E-T-A-L, remained a term primarily used for those hard, shiny substances such as steel or iron, but it also required a figurative use. Today, both words can mean vigor and strength of spirit or temperament, but only metal is used of metallic substances. Word of the day this morning is metal. M-E-T-T-L-E, a noun which refers to the ability to continue in spite of difficulties. An example of the use of the word: the contestants proved their mettle by completing the triathlon. Another example of the use of the word: recently, 23 of the best math students met virtually to test their mettle against their peers in the annual Math Kongs competition. Word of the day this morning: metal, M-E-T-T-L-E, a noun which refers to the ability to continue in spite of difficulties. A lot of us are able to do that on a daily basis. No matter the difficulty you're facing, you're able to continue, you're able to push through, you're able to do what you're doing. That's what you call metal. Metal, M-E-T-T-L-E, the ability to continue in spite of difficulties. Our students are doing that too, able to continue online learning despite difficulties with whatever you may be facing. All right, let's see what's the thought of today on this thankful Thursday. The thought for today: gratitude is the healthiest of all human emotions. The more you express gratitude for what you have, the more likely you will have even more to express gratitude for. Gratitude is the healthiest of all human emotions. The more you express gratitude for what you have, the more likely you will have even more to express gratitude for. It's another thankful Thursday, an opportunity for us to be reminded of the things that we need to be grateful for, the things and people that we need to be grateful for. Just send up a word of thanks to the Heavenly Father, whatever it may be, as small as it may seem, as large as it may seem, as easy as it was to get, as difficult as it was to get. Just give a word of thanks. It's Thankful Thursday. That's why I remind you what today is, to encourage each and everyone to always have a grateful heart. Gratitude is the healthiest of all human emotions. All right, quickly, let's see what is celebrated today, October 7th, 2021. Today it is Depression Screening Day. Depression Screening Day. Roughly 50 million adults in the world struggle with depression or anxiety, not to mention the family, friends, and co-workers that are impacted. Depression Screening Day is held annually on October 7th. It's important for many reasons. First, it can help people make an informed diagnosis. It also drags depression out of the darkness. And perhaps most important, it can bring help to those who need it. It is Depression Screening Day. It's a great opportunity for us to pay attention to our feelings, especially during these COVIDious times. It has been hard on a lot of people mentally, psychologically, emotionally, financially. So it's a good day to check up on your friends, check up on your family, check up on yourself, and just take stock of your emotions, of your feelings. It's important that we all are abreast with how we are feeling and how situations make us feel, so that we can seek help whenever we need it, whether it's professionally or personally, be it family member, friends, boss, co-workers. It is an opportunity for us to take stock. It is Depression Screening Day, so reach out a hand to somebody you haven't heard from in some days, maybe a few weeks, maybe even months. Just reach out today. You just never know what that contact would do. All right, now let's get ready for the morning edition of news. For those of you on radio and those of you on our visual platforms, we bring you highlights of last evening's newscast. It's Good Morning Grenada on a thankful Thursday. We will be right back.
Grenada moving toward mandatory vaccination? That's the question being raised in some circles. This follows pronouncements made in government circles on Tuesday. Cherian Blackman-Stevens is following the vaccine trail.
Many Grenadians listened to the address delivered by Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell on Tuesday and were happy with some of the changes made, which allow people more unrestricted movements. While maintaining that this government will not move to legislate mandatory vaccination, the Prime Minister maintained that this is the key to getting back to a state of normalcy.
No one can force you to take the vaccine. No one. I said before, I will not support any law that compels people to vaccinate. That's my philosophical position. Some countries are doing it. Comes and say, if you ain't get vaccine, you can't get this, and you can. I'm not in that. That's a human responsibility. Protect yourself. But my urge is to vaccinate, because that is the way we can get back to business as usual.
While the Prime Minister delivered the headlines on the changes, the details came from Attorney General Dia Forrester.
Thirdly, daycare centers also have the requirement to present the vaccination status of individuals working there. Likewise, to be able to open or to be able to discharge duties at that business as an employee. There is a further requirement for daycare centers, that is, individuals dropping off and picking up infants must also present their vaccination status to be able to attend or access the daycare centers.
The same statute now applies to senior citizens' home. Following Tuesday's announcement, observers said it has become apparent that the country is being slowly pulled along a path of mandatory vaccination, even in the absence of any definitive announcement from the government. Public Relations Officer of the National Democratic Congress, Claudia Joseph, was asked about the party's position on mandatory vaccination.
I wouldn't want to venture an NDC position on that, but what I can tell you is that people have a right to decide what goes into their body, and they have a choice to make. But one of the early principles you learn in constitutional law in terms of fundamental rights is that those rights stop where they begin to affect other people's rights. So with rights come responsibilities.
Many countries around the world are witnessing a higher level of vaccine hesitancy. In Antigua and Barbuda, Prime Minister Gaston Brown implemented a mandatory vaccination policy effective Monday of this week.
Just yesterday, my cabinet took a decision that that all public servants must get vaccinated or get tested at least twice monthly. Otherwise, you will not be eligible to enter into the workplace. And if you don't come to work, you cannot justify getting paid. And if you don't come to work after a period of time and you abandon your job, you lose your employment.
And for those in Grenada who believe that without a legal mandate to force vaccination, there can be no legal penalties for breaching the regulations, Attorney General Dia Forrester says,
yes, there will be checks that are going to be done by the Chief Medical Officer and his team in relation to those establishments to be able to confirm that they are indeed complying with the regulations. And if there is non-compliance, there is provision within the regulations for penalties to be attached. For instance, if a business is non-compliant, they may be closed for up to 7 days. Likewise, if an individual is non-compliant, you can, of course, be charged in the regular scheme that the regulations have provided for traditionally.
Mandates or no mandate, the debate rages. Cherry and Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
Opposition leader Tobias Clement warns Grenadians not to get too comfortable with the easing restrictions which were announced yesterday. Let's hear his thoughts on that and related issues in this dispatch from Gerard Joseph.
Continue to follow the protocols and take personal responsibility is a message from opposition leader Tobias Clement following the address by Prime Minister Dr. Kit Mitchell on Tuesday. Ease of movement is being experienced as the restrictions to curb the spread of the virus have been somewhat lifted.
From the history that I have read about COVID, about infectious disease like this, about pandemic, which we had a similar one 100 years ago, it comes in 3 waves. And in my mind, this is just the first wave.
However, Clement is advising Grenadians to persist and not get comfortable.
I would advise everybody, continue to operate as if the next person you meet probably has COVID, and protect yourself and protect your family.
His major concern is the continued lack of responses or recommended solutions to address children being left at home as parents return to work.
For instance, I have a son, he's 9 years old, he has to be at home. If both parents are working, then what do we do with him in terms of getting him online, getting him ready? Do we send him by a neighbor? Do we bring in somebody to our home who may be not vaccinated?
He says this trend can have dire effects as children are left unattended as schools remain closed. Addressing the regulations that require vaccination for the reopening of businesses, the opposition leader believes there is nothing to be afraid of when noting the science and development of vaccines.
What we have to do is to continue to educate our people that there are benefits in getting yourself and your family vaccinated. I say if you are hesitant about it, consult a physician and know what is going on with you and your family, and by all means necessary, you should get vaccinated.
Clement reiterates that whether it is no movement or movement, people must take personal responsibility to protect themselves and their families. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
And we're moving on now to other news. A St. Andrew farmer says he is still shaken after he was attacked on his farm about 8 days ago, having to run for his life. He shared his story with GBN's Rena Pear Thomas.
Neville Alexander is a 83-year-old farmer of Moncton, St. Andrew, who believed that if it wasn't for God, his family would have found his body in his farmland 8 days ago. He told GBN that while working on his farmland at Maribo, St. Andrew, he was attacked by 2 young men. The farmer said his only crime was to ask them to greet him when passing through his land.
When I noticed that they reached a part to me, and they didn't say morning, they don't say anything, I turn and tell them, I say, what happened? This place is you alone? Are you just walking in the land and do saying morning, do saying anything? That was the worst thing I ever see. They start, oh, you want me to kill you so and so? You want me to kill you so and so? And they start using us at the over. And when I say, Oh, well, I go in the station. They start picking up stone on me. So I start running.
A farmer for over 50 years, Alexander says that while this is not the first encounter with the young men, it was the first time it had escalated to this level. Mr. Alexander related how he ran to his vehicle, which was parked a short distance away. The two men were in hot pursuit.
I try to go inside the van. I leave the key they on the door. I leave the key. And I try. As I get inside the van, they start coming on me, and I do. I get and top me. I'm bawling for people to hear, bawling, murder, but I'm fighting them. I don't allow one to go behind my back and one day in front. I'm trying to get all of them to the front. And I'm running at them, they're running back. And then when as I get up, I'm getting tired too. I will kill you. All what they tell him, I will kill you. Give me all what you have. And they start thinking, well, I said that is my last time. But all what I'm trying to do is to trap one that I could able, the police, when they kill me, the police will be able to see one of them.
The farmer said, with the help of God, he left his van behind and ran towards the nearest house while he was pelted with stones. The police were called to the scene and asked to investigate the action of the two young men for yet another time.
The police come. When we go back down in the van, they search everything in the van. They search all way. You see all me thing what I have, they turn it over. And up to now that I go and make a report in the station. The RLC police go and pick up the next one up to now. This is something that we always ask for, protection. Before, I think we had the farm watch. I was in the farm watch. And the police was doing plenty better than now. I am telling you, he has some dangerous, very dangerous young fella. Very, very dangerous. They will kill you for hit me.
The farmer says that the keys to his van remains missing and he is still scared of going to any of his farmlands by himself. He said farming is what sustains his family and he needs to feel safe to put food on his table. Mr. Alexander told GBN that other farmers have reported complaints about the two individuals before. GBN called the Grenville police station and was told they are aware of the matter and that an investigation is ongoing. For GBN News, I am Rena Pett-Thomas reporting.
Thanks, Rena, for that. And we're seeing in St. Andrew where we have reports of an elderly woman believing that she is the target of a bandit who remains on the loose. After a painful experience that left her hospitalized 2 years ago, she has faced 2 attacks on her home this week. Here's Christelina John with her story.
That's the condition inside this 84-year-old woman's home. 2 years ago, Miss Margaret Noel fell victim to a rapist. The elderly woman who lived alone was forced to flee her home following the incident from fear of a repeat. To date, no one was held liable for this heinous act. 2 years on, she has been attacked again. This time, her home was ransacked by an intruder twice in 1 week. Noel, who is well known for her sweet tooth treats and a vendor in the town of Grenville, told her story to GBN with the hope that she will obtain some form of justice.
So when I reached by the cinema there, I noticed at the back door, not expecting nothing happened. When I reached, I said, but what going on? That time that they I see a big stone there. I didn't know this stone. They bust because my son-in-law well nearly done with piece of wood. And they break all the piece of wood to able to put their hand to pull out those things and they don't mash up the door. Put my hand on my hand and I say, Jesus, Jesus, amen, give me the strength.
The intruder enters through a back door, she says, that was smashed with a stone. The police were called in on both occasions. However, an arrest is yet to be made.
Police tell me, well, Wednesday, see what I miss. Because it ain't that, everything they capsized inside the room, the bar. But it wasn't so yet. So we could have moved about free and thing. Yes, they came again and then they watch and they tell me, well, they're going to, all you had to, they go call it, and they call it people again. They took it, yes, CID going to come. As long as the whole day, Monday, well, I want to hold the person so they should know who, because it's a culprit. They didn't get the first one. No. So if they didn't get the first one, maybe it's the same person who had come back because they come for money and they come and want to do again.
Nordica, a close friend who visits Miss Noels regularly, expressed her disgust over the situation.
I'm talking to all the no one inside me running. First, before I go around. When I reach her, meet she and she needs say, but me and the niece very good too. And she say, girl, look at what they do to me, and when I come and I watch that is what I see. And I say no, I say, Miss Margaret, even in the daytime you have to be careful here too, because look how they're doing. So even in the daytime, sometimes they pass in the back and nobody see when they pass in the back and come in. And thing. It's sad, it's really sad.
It's confirmed to GBN Miss Noel's report of being raped and her house broken into, and that to date, no one has been arrested in connection with the attacks on her. Chrislina John, GBN News.
Let's start this segment with news of education, and in this story, we will give you an insight into what online school is like for a student and the experience of a mother of two. For the past 4 weeks, they've been putting shoulders to the wheel, managing time and juggling responsibilities. The Mackey family shared their experience with GBN's Rena Pear Thomas.
It is clear that face-to-face learning is not going to happen anytime soon. Many are foreseeing students spending their entire first semester on their online platform. But what are online classes like for students? And how are teachers finding the right methods to keep them excited about learning? We visited the home of Miss Alina Roberts to get an insight into what the online class is like, as one of her sons report to school daily online. Roberts' oldest son is a grade 1 student who attends the St. Giles Anglican School. GBN caught him in the middle of one of his classes. When asked about her son's attention span maintaining focus, Roberts says that the teachers try their very best to keep the class interactive, but understanding that children are easily distracted, she is always there to ensure he stays on track.
I must indeed commend the teachers for the great effort they are making, because I recall some of the teachers were even afraid of the technology, but I'm seeing them exploring the Zoom platform, even exploring different platforms and making the sessions very fun and interactive. The teachers are doing an excellent job. Sometimes with the internet, sometimes you get unstable internet and being focused. I think that's really the challenges. But sometimes you have little hiccups, with other children. Sometimes, they're a little bit rowdy. But we all know children, it's very difficult to keep them put. But bearing in mind all of these circumstances, I think they're doing a superb job.
The mother says that while she understands how difficult it is for some parents to ensure that children remain attentive to their classes, she must say that the online platform has positively impacted how parents are now showing interest in their children's education.
I'm really impressed with the support of the parents. Sometimes when you have the face-to-face, you don't see much of the parents, involvement. But I believe through this online, I'm seeing much more of the parents. You would see them, helping the child child find a page or assisting the child with the work that they have to do. So yes, I'm seeing a lot of parental involvement.
She has this advice for parents out there who are still struggling to adjust to the online learning and teaching platform.
I know sometimes it can be a little bit, challenging because you're not accustomed. You're accustomed, you dress your child and you send them off in the hands of the teacher. But see it as an opportunity where you as the parent can bond a little bit more with the child and use it as as a stepping stone where you can help the child better in education.
For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
And we will stay with education for the time being. What we've learned today is that all classes will be online for the new group of students entering the T.A. Marisho Community College this semester. The guidelines and procedures for students were outlined by officials on Wednesday. Let's cross back again to Rena Pett Thomas for an update.
It's online classes for first-year TAMCC students this year, as the tertiary institution decided not to recommence classroom sessions for students due to the current COVID-19 situation in Grenada. During a press briefing on Wednesday, Registrar and Acting Principal of the T.A. Marisho Community College, Marva Brown Neptune, said going forward online registration will begin from the 18th to the 22nd of October, as CXC results are expected to be ready between the 11th and 15th. She said students who have already applied should wait for the school to contact them after receiving their results so they will know the next step.
You're not going to be coming to the T.A. Marisho Community College to do the registration process. So what you need to do is once the results are out, you wait. During the week of October 18, that's for the professional school, to the 22nd, we are going to contact you. We are going to contact you to discuss your results and whether or not you have met the requirements to be accepted into the T.A. Marisho Community College.
The students will be using an online platform such as Moodle for classes and will need to have online devices and internet connection to do so. The registrar says that all students should use their college email to make all inquiries going forward and advised that all tuitions can be paid online or through appointments.
So you're paying to Republic Bank, First Caribbean, and Co-op Bank using account number 102741, and to Republic Bank with the former Scotia through using account number 3003910. So that would be how you'd pay. You can come to the college. We'd schedule appointments with you so you can come. If you cannot pay through online or virtually, you can come to the college using a drop box to deposit your check.
Mrs. Neptune also mentioned the new date for the 2021 graduates and guidelines they will need to know to ensure that all requirements are met to graduate.
Our graduation ceremony will be held on the 2nd of December. That's a Thursday. And so we are in the process of auditing all the students to make sure they have met the requirements to be awarded the associate degree in their various programs. And in so doing, I'm encouraging the students to speak to their academic advisors. Go over your progress reports. And if you think that you would have failed anything or you would have gotten a grade C- and below, you could very well apply to do a resit.
School for Continued Education will also be following the same guidelines with an extra week of registration. Students who have not applied to the college as yet are asked to do so as soon as possible. For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
Imagine having the home of your dreams. Imagine investing in that piece of property you can call your own. Imagine finally doing that home improvement project you've always been thinking about. It's time to stop imagining and start doing. Let the GUT Credit Union help you take the first step with fantastic rates, affordable repayments, and reduced legal fees. Make the move. Get better terms on your mortgage. Use your home equity to make those dreams a reality. Act now. There's really no place like home. GUT Credit Credit Union. It's where you belong.
The croton scale insect, a new threat to our agricultural production, is now creating major damage to several plants. Mango, soursop, plums, guava, avocado, and crotons are among the main ones affected. Excessive sooty mold, black blight, is associated with this pest. Take action now. Cut and burn infested fruits and shoots. Do not move infested materials to other areas. Treat with horticultural oils and recommended insecticides. Request assistance from the Ministry of Agriculture. Follow all safety protocols when burning trash or applying pesticides. A message from the Ministry of Agriculture.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements, or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 for 18-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Fallage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
Once upon a time, we shopped at Wonderland, then Neverland. But we're all grown up now and no longer believe in fairy tales. So now we just shop at Shoes R Us. At Shoes R Us, we stock the latest in shoes, tops, and jeans for the fashion-conscious lady. We also carry colognes and much, much more. And for the modern trendy male, we have the latest brand name shoes and sneakers, Converse, Reebok, Nike, K-Swiss, Puma, and much more. So check us out at our two convenient locations, Melville Street in St. George and Ben Jones Street in Granville. At Shoes R Us, we say, come shop with us.
Life's moving moments don't always work as planned. That emotional hug during the graduation ceremony, sudden sightings of old schoolmates during a shopping trip, things can go a little off track quickly. With 15-way voice and video calls, group chats with up to 1,000 persons, and free messaging, Bib helps you share the happiness and be prepared whenever life hits. Keep the good times going. Share it on Bib. Bib, more than just a messaging app. Download Bib today.
Consumers Guarantee Insurance advises the public of a temporary change to their office hours, effective September 28. The new hours are Mondays to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., Fridays, 8 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. These office hours will continue until further notice. As we continue to cope with this pandemic, all are reminded to remain safe and follow all COVID-19 protocols. We thank you for your understanding and cooperation.
Let's get tough on breed larceny. It will destroy our economy. Larceny threatens our food security. Can hurt us locally, hurt us globally. To all the buyers, ask for license from all produce sellers. To all people, call 300 for police for them thieving fellas. To all the farmers, don't steal produce from your brother. Then you sell it to traffickers, hotels, and street vendors. Nah, man. Let's do all we can to stop radio larceny. New vigilance, new laws, and a tough judiciary. Stop Grenada's organized business crime. It's time.
To report radio larceny, call 300.
Slippers on my feet, the skies are looking bleak. A perfect day to go to Summer Street. Butterflies and bees playing in the trees. A misty breeze just kissed me on my cheek. Above the water's deep.
state-of-the-art Ultratech gasoline and diesel. Available only at Rubis stations.
Level of convenience and comfort awaits you when you shop at Rise and Shine Supermarket and Hardware Supplies, Griffin Lane, Grenville. Convenient, because we are open Sunday to Sunday. We're even at your service on public holidays. Comfort, because we are easily accessible to the physically challenged. Free Wi-Fi is available while you shop, and bags come at no charge. Everyday low prices and excellent customer care. Adequate parking available. We supply everything you can possibly think of. Family and home supplies, fresh meat, vegetables, and personal care products. All brands of cooking gas at affordable prices. You can send in your order, have it pulled, or pick up express.
Welcome back to Good Morning Grenada on this thankful Thursday, 19 minutes after 7 o'clock. Those of you who need to get to work for 8 o'clock, you just have about 40 minutes to get there on time. So if you're still home, hustle, hustle, hustle. You don't know the traffic you'll meet on the outside. Good morning to those of you joining us on whichever platform you're using this morning. Those of you on Facebook, if you're just joining us, happy to have you. The people who stuck with us during the commercial break, thank you very much for your patience. All right, it is Thursday, which means it's time to talk the things. All right, this morning we are going to I don't know how to put it. All right, so this morning the topic we're going to discuss this morning: do you feel like Grenada is moving toward mandatory vaccinations? Do you share the sentiment that Grenada is moving toward mandatory vaccination? It seems that's the conversation, that's the topic a lot of people have been weighing in on. So I want to hear from our viewers and listeners your thoughts on the topic. Do you feel or do you share the sentiment that Grenada is moving toward mandatory vaccination? The landline number this morning, 435-2041. The WhatsApp number is also 435-2041. Please, only written messages on WhatsApp. And you can talk the things in the comments on Facebook and YouTube. The question this morning: do you share the sentiment that Grenada is moving toward mandatory vaccination? Good morning, caller.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Morning. Sorry, caller, you're sounding very fast, so just speak up a little bit. Hello?
Hello.
Hi, good morning. Go right ahead. Just speak up a little bit.
Yeah.
Hello? Hello? All right, that wasn't ready for the dance. Let me go. Talk the Things Thursday. Do you share the sentiment that Grenada is moving toward mandatory vaccination? Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Blossom.
Morning, Tanti. How you do?
Hi, they hanging in there. How you doing?
I'm hanging in there as well.
A lot of aches and pain in the body, but taking it one day at a time.
Take it one day at a time. Be safe.
The Lord Jesus is the only one to help us.
Amen.
And He's going to cure that sickness one day. He's going to send the help, So we just have to wait on the Lord and pray a whole lot that He will send a great help that we need to save us from this virus. It's a terrible, terrible virus. It is really terrible. And it's taking too many lives. Now, Grenada people is so little bit we down here. And now so many people come down with the virus. How are they getting this thing so quickly? Where is it coming from to go into their body? Why are people just suffering from this virus? Nobody knows if they're dying from it or if it's going to keep them safe from the vaccine. We don't know what's going on with this vaccine thing because people still dying when they take this vaccine.
So the question, Tanti, do you share the sentiment that Grenada is moving toward mandatory vaccination?
What is a mandatory vaccine? I mean, know about this thing, don't tell me. I don't know. I only hear all you talking about this thing and I saying something when I come here. I don't know what's going on in God. I don't know people dying from this vaccine. Some people are saving from it.
It has not been put in place yet, but if it is put in place, mandatory vaccine mean everybody who is eligible must take the vaccine. That's what mandatory vaccination means, but it's not in place yet.
It is a real must that people must take this vaccine?
No. It's not in place yet.
Okay.
But the question is, do you feel like Grenada is moving toward mandatory vaccination?
Well, I don't think we should go into that one yet, because we have to take it to court first. And if you say take it, you're going to help, then you're going to take it.
Okay.
But if the Lord say no, let us just trust in God and have faith in Him, so we'll be safe from this thing, what is inside of this vaccine, if you're going to save lives or take away lives.
Okay.
Have a blessed day, darling.
You too, Tanti.
Love you.
Love. All right. Thank you very much, Tanti. Talk the things this morning. The question, do you feel like Grenada is moving toward mandatory vaccination? Again, it is not in place yet, and government has previously expressed that they would not make it mandatory. However, the question still is, do you feel like that's the direction the country may be moving? Good morning, caller.
Yes, morning, Blossom.
Morning.
Yes, well, I think we are heading that way, because the government is asking businesses that they who to operate, they must be vaccinated, and some who are to go to restaurants must be vaccinated. But listening to the program last night with the two gentlemen and how they explained this thing, people are always blaming government and saying government, and they're saying the government, we're blaming the government, but everything starts with the government. So if the government wants other people to, they must be vaccinated workers. Why are the government workers not vaccinated? They have to start first, because when you really think about it, we expose them. Do you think about it? Do you know that if you don't go to the government, you can't live in your house? If you don't pay your driver's license and pay that, you cannot drive your car. You don't have to pay land tax. All these things you cannot pay. So we start with the government, so that we have to start there. You must go in the treasury somewhere to pay some bill. To operate your business, you have to have a license. So it's heading there, but you have to start with the government. The government first should do that. The Prime Minister take his license, his vaccine first. The nation is supposed to be implemented that long time.
Okay.
It should be happening. And one more thing, I think what I noticed is after the praying and the thundering and thing, I listen to a lot of people come on the radio and nobody's saying thank to the Lord for his healing and thank him for anything, because when you really check about it, after the Sunday after, I think from around the Monday, when people think about it and you check it out, from that time we start finding there was a little low in the cases catching and them kind of thing, a lot of things. And I heard talk to a lot of people, and through the way they express themselves, they get a lot of healing from that.
Okay. Thank you very much, caller. Talk the Things Thursday. Do you share the sentiment that Grenada is moving toward mandatory vaccination? On Facebook, somebody says that's the only way they will be able to go forward with COVID. Another Facebooker says, Blossom, I don't think so. Still on Facebook, we are already there. We are not stupid people. We can read. And this Facebooker says, it seems that that's where we're heading. The exact words have not been declared, but we've started in practice. Good morning, caller.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
The question is, do I think that Grenada is moving towards mandatory vaccination?
Correct.
I would say no, because the Prime Minister made it quite clear. But if you look at the trend, we will achieve that goal eventually, because if workplaces and business places are expecting that and demanding that, then eventually we will get there. And is it a good idea to mandate vaccine? In some cases, yes. As a registered nurse, a retired registered nurse, there are so many mandatory vaccines that I had to take if I want to continue working in the institutions I worked at in the United States. Hepatitis, TB, And some of them are annual, and you have no choice. Because if you want to protect your patients and yourself, that's what you do. I have friends working over there now that's vaccinated. They are vaccinated, and every week they still have to do the PCR test. If that's not done, the country would never move forward. The economy would never move forward. Schools would never reopen. The children would be home with virtual learning that's maybe 65% successful. So what's the outcome? So we have to look at the broader picture. No, I don't think we're moving towards mandatory vaccination, but if workplaces and institutions are requiring it, eventually that's the outcome. So in a subtle way, we have to say that's what's going to happen. What choice will business places have if that's not done? Look what happened in the homes. A prominent person just died because the caregiver brought it to the house. My friend is lying in a bed now, disabled, because a friend brought it to the house. So what are we thinking? Let's give it some thought. There is fear about the vaccine, and that's understandable. But sometimes we have to walk through our fears and see what's the most beneficial thing for us and the people around us. Look at it. COVID is the bigger killer versus the vaccine. So you ask yourself, who is the worst of the two evils? Is it the vaccine or is it COVID? I have some really sad stories. And if people were to listen and see those sad stories, maybe they might have a change of thought.
Okay.
When I listen to people who are resisting the vaccine, I'm not getting a true, valid reason. I'm not even picking up the fear. If I was picking up the fear, we would sit down and have a dialogue. But they just cannot give you a concrete answer for not taking the vaccine. So are we moving towards mandatory vaccine? No, but eventually, most countries is going to achieve that goal because of the requirements of workplaces.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you very much, caller. Very profound and easy to understand outlook. Thank you very much for your contribution. Let me see what is on YouTube. Somebody on YouTube says we should never try to be God at any time. And as for whether we will get mandatory vaccination, we should not. That should always remain a personal choice. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Blossom.
Good morning, how you do?
Just quiet, eh?
All right, stay quiet.
Blossom, I want the briefing the Prime Minister had this week day, right? No, the briefing, he said barber shop, he said the bars, the rum shop will open. But 2 weeks back, he had they say, the pastors and was on the preaching and praying for Grenada, right? But why he don't say the church will open? Why is the only thing that he closed on is the church? And they say we're a praying nation. That's the main question. I listened good, I see them, he never mentioned the church. But 2 weeks before that, he had pastor on the air praying for Grenada. How God going to help us to go forward? And vaccine is not the way out. The way out is God, not vaccine. Vaccine don't have life in it. The life that we have is God own. The blood that we carry is God own. He covers us with his blood. So this vaccine, pushing vaccine, push God. Push God. Don't push vaccine. Okay. Vaccine is not the way out. Okay. Vaccine, though, they don't also make it mandatory. A man is a man's choice. If a man's choice is not to have a woman in his life, that is choice. If a man decides to have a choice, he don't want to have a woman in his life, that is choice.
Okay.
Everything to do with choice. Don't push no vaccine on people. I won't side with that. And let me get the church open.
Okay.
God first and everything will be okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Okay. I was under the impression that the churches were closed because of no movement weekends. So I assumed, and again, this is my conclusion, that since the no movement weekends have been discontinued, that churches would reopen. I don't know. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. No, the Prime Minister did not specifically say churches will reopen, but I was under the impression they were closed because of no movement weekends, and now that no movement weekends are no more, churches would reopen their doors. I didn't really think that church is still closed, to be honest, in a caller. So somebody correct or share with me your thoughts or what you know about churches being able to reopen now that no movement weekends are discontinued. But now you're making me second guess myself, caller. One of the church is still closing truth, and I will gear up for Sunday, please, alone, eh? Okay. So somebody share with me if you know for sure war is war, according to the local parlance. All right, there we go. No, I didn't think of that in truth. There we go. Right, Facebook. Let me see some comments on Facebook. So somebody on Facebook says, I think it's a great idea to protect myself and those around me. Another Facebooker says, they should go that way because that's only how Grenada would be back and Grenadans would enjoy ourselves when we visit. I lived in New York and no vaccine, no work. They are very strict right now. Still on Facebook. There is virtual church. You don't need a building to pray. Big facts. My church has been holding virtual church sessions on Sunday mornings. Grandans Baptist Church. Good morning, all of my Grandans Baptist churchers. We have been holding virtual church sessions on Sundays. So, but no, I just don't mind working on the physical reopening of church. All right, let me go on WhatsApp. Let me read some comments on a lot of comments on WhatsApp. A lot of comments on WhatsApp. All right, let me read a few before I go back to the landline. Somebody on WhatsApp says, they are just taking time to announce mandatory vaccination. People, please remember other countries have had their third wave. Grenada just had their first. Still on WhatsApp, straight to the point, yes, they are. Another WhatsApper says, yes, it's already mandatory vaccinations. I know of people who are told they have to get vaccinated up to this Friday to decide. They have up to this Friday to decide or their names will be removed on the pay list. God help our poor people who depend on their salaries to feed their families. So if you don't get vaccinated, you don't get paid? That's what you're telling me, the WhatsApper. I refuse to believe that. Lots, I know it's a possibility. I know it's a possibility the way we're going on there. All right, let me read this final WhatsApp before I go back to the landline. Somebody says, I find all the signals showing mandatory vaccination. The government taking out themselves, but they placed it on the other managers and leaders. According to the Africans, there is fire on the mountain. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Miss Blossom.
Morning, Mr. Bido. How you do?
Well, just listening and learning, but then I predict church will open on Sunday. I predict that.
That's what I'm feeling too.
Well, yeah, I predict. But the next thing again now, this another question is how much people will be in the church, but some of us could stay outside too if they allow 20. But anyway, let us watch and see. Tomorrow, please, that we will talk about the vaccine. We don't have time for that this morning now.
Oh, no problem.
All right, yes, so I'll wait for tomorrow.
Okay, no problem. Have a good day.
Please, God.
Please, the Lord. Amen.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much, Mr. Bido. That's a good point, WhatsApper. The churches made the decision to close before the no movement weekends were announced, which is, I guess, why I was thinking they would reopen. Now that no movement. All right, let's go. The topic this morning, for those of you just joining us, do you share the sentiment that Grenada is moving toward mandatory vaccination? A WhatsApper says, yes, but there are too many mixed messages. It is either we're doing it or we're not. My question is, though, what is the objective? We are told that even the vaccinated can still get and transmit the virus. How then does it work? Additionally, they should phase it in with plenty education without the arrogance and politics. Can the vaccinated actually protect others or merely save themselves from severe outcomes? Genuinely seeking answer to this. That's a question I had at WhatsApp. I recall when I had the two young doctors that returned, Dr. Alexis and Dr. David. One of them said what they've seen from research is that the vaccine also lowers your chance of passing it on. So while it lowers your chance of getting severely sick and or being hospitalized and or dying, it also lowers the chances of you passing on the virus. That's what I remember one of those doctors said it, as well as I've heard it on other conversations on the vaccine. But that's a good point. WhatsApp. Good morning, caller.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Magnatory could be never. A lot of...
sorry, caller. Just speak up a little bit. You're sounding very low. Go ahead.
All right. Magnatory, that could be never. A lot of hidden stuff in the pipeline to be unleashed. We still need tight security. A lot of secrets not yet known. Okay? And we like for Sheldon Scott to come back or Mr. Bowler, because a lot of these radio people, they are hiding. They don't want people to talk to let out anything. All right. And not only them, the telephone company as well. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. I don't think I quite followed. I quite followed what you're saying, caller, but thank you for your contribution. All right, still on Facebook, not still, but let's go back to Facebook. Somebody on Facebook says workplaces have a right to do whatever they want for their business so they can gain. Not one day you're open, next week you're closed. Still on Facebook, making the vaccine mandatory is not going to help anyone because being vaccinated does not prevent a person from getting or spreading the virus. And just below that comment, another Facebooker says, Mister, the church is a building and the church will be crowded or filled, so it's not safe. Stop this thing because Jesus preached and teached on the streets, the beaches, below trees, the highways and byways. Right under that comment as well, somebody says, I saw Mike. Somebody says the church is closed because in church you sing and the virus can be transmitted easier. And below that one as well, the churches took the decision to close just before the Prime Minister returned to Grenada on his last trip abroad. All right, I think those are the related comments on the church issue. So let's go right back to the landline. You're working with my man, Michael. Good morning, caller.
To answer your call or your question, the Prime Minister has given us his words already. So I don't see the need for that. But on the other hand, what I would like to say to you is I listen to the program almost every day. I listen to you almost every day. I have two boys in high school. And they go down with this idea of bad English. And I believe it's because they're listening to you. Here we go, Adede, and all this kind of. If you could change that expedigo, I'd be a better person, or the world would be a better person. Coming from you personally as a program host, because all the children throughout Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique following you. Put on the Let We Go thing now.
So it's only me that say Let We Go?
Put on the Let We Go vibe.
Only me that speak Grenadian or broken English?
I am saying to you as the program host.
And I hear you. And most of the time I speak proper English. But according to what it is, I would go colloquial. But it's only me they're hearing the bad English from.
Put on the low. Put on that low. Put it on. That's all I'm asking.
Thank you, caller, but I don't think I would be putting it down. It's not Blossom alone that uses colloquial. I don't understand why you're trying to blame me for your children's broken English. I guess you speak proper English all the time at home as well. Look, all it is try to blame me for things is not solely me responsible. Maybe it's your children's English teacher. Check your English teacher. Don't annoy me. Colloquial is a part of Grenadian language. Grenadian speaking. Blossom is not the only one. 9 times out of 10 I speak proper English, but according to what it is, I'll go colloquial. And I would warn you in local terms. Let me go back to the landline. Don't stress me. All right. No caller. All right, so let me go to Lies. Let me go to a caller. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Blossom.
Morning, how are you?
Fair to find.
Okay, stay fair to find.
Yeah. Thank God that I know that some churches, about 30 buses, could fit in a church. Thank God that the vaccine could be spread easier in a church than in a bus. Have a good day.
Thank you very much. Maybe, according to the setting at the church and the size. Okay. All right, back on Facebook. I really want to say let me go on Facebook. Let me read a Facebook comment, and then we will take a break. Somebody on Facebook says, while we listen here and see what other countries are doing, it is our choice to decide what we are doing. If we are a nation who says we believe in God, we shall follow him and his ways. Oh, look, I missed a comment up here. Let me scroll up. Somebody still on Facebook says, concerning mandatory vaccination, the government may have no choice in the matter. On that note, let's take a break, and then we're going to come back inside with some more Talk the Things Thursday right here on Classic and GBN.
Are you looking?
Get Rubigas. Get cooking. Rubigas, clean, safe, and reliable LPG is the perfect solution for your commercial and everyday needs. For cooking at home or barbecuing, choose Rubigas LPG cylinders. Available in a variety of sizes from 20 to 100 pound cylinders. Rubigas LPG, clean, safe, reliable. Are you cooking with Rubigas?
Get Rubis, get going.
Government, private sector, civil society, academia, farmers, the Ministry of Agriculture, Lands and Forestry, in collaboration with the Food and Agriculture Organization, invites you to World Food Day 2021, the virtual edition, under the theme, Our Actions Are Our Future, Better Production, Better Nutrition, a Better Environment, and a Better Life. Join us October 15 from 9:30 a.m. via Zoom, Facebook, GIS, and Real FM as we recognize and celebrate the many successes of the agriculture sector. The croton scale insect, a new threat to our agricultural production, is now creating major damage to several plants. Mango, soursop, plums, guava, avocado, and crotons are among the main ones affected. Excessive sooty mold, black blight, is associated with this pest. Take action now. Cut and burn infested fruits and shoots. Do not move infested materials to other areas. Treat with horticultural oils and recommended insecticides. Request assistance from the Ministry of Agriculture. Follow all safety protocols when burning trash or applying pesticides. A message from the Ministry of Agriculture.
Welcome back to Good Morning Grenada. It's Talk the Things Thursday. This morning the topic, well, maybe I should start to say Talk the Things Thursday. All right, let me go. Hey, listen to me. The topic this morning, do you share the sentiment that Grenada is moving toward mandatory vaccination? Let's go back to the landline. Morning, caller.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I share the sentiment because I don't understand how come you have to be vaccinated to go and drop a child in the daycare or pick up a child in the daycare. And in the gym, where you are exercising and pumping iron and blowing hard, you can go there without vaccinating. I don't understand that at all. So I think somehow we are heading towards that, but I have no problem. Let us get vaccinated, let the country open up, let the government get the money, and let children go back to school, and let everything come back to normal. I have no problem with that. But what I don't understand again, how come the gyms could be open and churches are closed? In the gym, everybody exercising, you're blowing hard, you're pumping, you're exercising, sweating, and that kind of stuff. The thing could be easily spread there. But yet, I guess the PM wants to go back to the gym, so you open it up, and the churches are closed. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller. Again, I'm still waiting on somebody to tell me, is there anybody that heads a church? Can you let me know if the building would be open or if you're still closed? I'm curious to know if we need the verbal go ahead to reopen the churches. That's what's on my mind. All right, let me see if I can read some comments on YouTube. All right, somebody on YouTube says most people will refuse to take the vaccine because of the mRNA technology. Why not also offer Sinovac or Sinopharm, which uses a non-live virus in their vaccines? We can't offer it yet because we don't have it yet. The vaccines that have been made available to us so far are the AstraZeneca and the Pfizer-BioNTech. Any other vaccine, they've not been made available to us as yet, so we can't offer it. According to the Ministry of Health, more specifically the Minister of Health, Grenada has requested supplies of other vaccines, but as of October 6th, we have not received any other type or brand of vaccine. So let's see what happens with the other brands. Still on YouTube, somebody says, yes, churches are still closed. Okay. Hopefully they've been doing virtual churches. Big up Grenada Baptist. Somebody on YouTube. Despite the talk of efficacy, I don't mind taking that one, or the Sinovac or the Sinopharm vaccine. I hope could go out to the government. All right, another YouTuber says, good morning, Grenada family in the UK. Stop. Grenada family. In the UK, all health and frontline staff must be vaccinated. No jab, no job. All right, let me go back on Facebook and read a few before I go back to the landline. Somebody on Facebook says, Israel is fully vaccinated, but they still have the same problem. Another Facebooker, the CDC says the vaccinated can still pass on the virus. That is why they are asking vaccinated people to wear masks in their homes. All right, and still on Facebook, we need to also look at what is happening with the vaccine in order to make sound decisions. So far, it's not beautiful nor encouraging. All right, let me go back to the landline. I ain't stressing all. I cool. Good morning, caller.
Let it go. Good morning.
Good morning.
Listen, you man, not scoundrel, man. That's contact catchphrase. Yeah, go ahead, man.
No,
when I said was telling, calling people out their name, saying journalists on the ground, why they call that? Over there, that should be anyhow. I don't agree with this mandatory vaccine thing, but I'm vaccinated. Teach his own. If you look at Portugal basically vaccinated like 85% of their people, but they still requiring people to get vaccinated still because they are so hesitant ones. St. Vincent has 5 vaccines. They're still taking the vaccine. And the death rising right now. They're going up. Sad. So it's up to you. Choose. Is it a life or death? People say nobody's saying nothing about eating healthy. You can eat healthy. Every day I go to town, I see KFC line long like by Diddy Cell all go down there. Come on. There's a few yards away there people selling green field lettuce for the same price. So prices, where prices are? When you're Ms. Blossom, let me go.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you, caller. Let me go on WhatsApp. It's been a while since I've been on WhatsApp. Somebody on WhatsApp says, The government is being hypocritical. Why don't they start with the nurses and doctors that are not vaccinated? Also the other public workers. But no, they are making it mandatory on workers who can't defend themselves. Another WhatsApper says, I don't see it happening now, but it will be the best thing for us. God help those who help themselves. Amen. Taking the vaccine is helping ourselves. We say it is our body, but when you give it to someone, it is their body you are violating. Yeah. Thank you very much, WhatsApper. Hold on, I'm reading through some supportive WhatsApps. Thank you very much, everybody, for your supportive messages. Still on WhatsApp, somebody says, okay, that's another supportive message. Hold on, Ollie, I'm looking for... Right, somebody says, to attend the gyms, you must be vaccinated. Okay. All right. This person says only virtual for now in relation to the churches. That was said at the press conference. Okay, I missed that part. Thank you very much, WhatsApper. Still on WhatsApp, somebody says getting mandatorily vaccinated is just going to make our government let their guards down at our ports of entry. And this WhatsApper says, it's unfortunate that our fundamental rights and freedoms are being eroded bit by bit. The vaccine is just the start of the hell to come. Let's trust and pray God. And pray to God. I agree with that caller on the issue of the gym. It's an ideal super spreader environment. What is the rationale? Good morning, caller.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
In terms of when they're saying if the vaccine will be mandatory, I know previously the government said, and many countries said they would not make it a mandatory thing. But the only issue that I'm seeing with, like earlier this year when the Prime Minister said that it's on the company's business if they must have their staff vaccinated, is the company's policy, the company's safety. That's their right. But the issue with it now that making the country seem like...
Sorry, caller, just speak up a little bit. You're sounding low. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so the issue with it now that making it seem like we are going in the mandatory route is the fact of the last press briefing or the last amendment that they're saying that businesses have to be vaccinated, like barbershops and saloons and daycare centers and so on, to open up or to have persons work with them, they have to be vaccinated. So that's the kind of conflict of interest there now, because the government should not, as according to what he said earlier on this year, and some statutory bodies have said, is kind of conflict of interest, because the government should not be putting in this implementation. And basically they're saying for their own part that the businesses, they would have to be vaccinated to open up, rather than the businesses themselves saying that they want their staff to be vaccinated. So now is more of a light that the government says that we need to be vaccinated to open our business or to go to these businesses. And it's very easily to go down the slippery slope. For later on they might say, okay, well, if that's the case, then teachers need to be vaccinated because they want to keep the students safe, or these places and these places need to be vaccinated. And just like that, the government has implemented all places a mandatory vaccination. Like, it's not mandatory now, but how they're starting to phrase it and what they're starting to do currently, it's already almost to that point. That's the only issue I would see.
Understood clearly. Thank you very much, caller. Thank you for your contribution. Somebody on WhatsApp says, it appears that mandatory is the thing these days. They're just not using the word mandatory. I guess that's kind of what the previous caller just said. Somebody else on WhatsApp says, yes, we are moving to mandatory vaccines. It was said that churches will remain closed. Possibly the final WhatsApp comment I can read this morning. Seems we are heading toward mandatory vaccination. If vaccination is designed to prevent people from getting the virus and spreading it, the vaccines for COVID-19 are not accomplishing that. They only serve to strengthen people's immunity. Making these vaccines mandatory is not solving the pandemic. All right, let me make the last round on our social media. This person on YouTube This person on YouTube says, so all the nurses and doctors who put their lives on the line before vaccines rolled out are now out of a job if they don't submit. I wish all this effort was put into finding the origin of the virus. How does my right to not take the vaccine affect someone else if it's available for them to take? What's happening now is straight up authoritarianism, and I guess it's only when the noose is drawn and the bucket is kicked out from under us would we realize what is happening. And the final comment I can read on Facebook. Somebody on Facebook says, in a recent press briefing to my hearing, they said churches or religious organizations will continue virtually. That's what I heard. Thank you very much, Facebooker. And then we go into this person on Facebook says, let's get vaccinated so we can get free barrels for Christmas. Lord, let's come up with these things. Thank you very much, Alistair. And that's going to bring us to the end of Talk the Things Thursday. Thank you very much for participating. Thank you for tuning in. It's now time for us to get ready to join the BBC for their 8 a.m. newscast. I'm going to issue a reminder to continue to observe the protocols. Even with the easing of the restrictions, we still need to be cautious and careful. There are active known cases and there could be active unknown cases so far. So please wear your masks, wash your hands with soap and water, hand sanitizer if they're not readily available, social distancing. Users of public transportation, please continue to observe the protocols in and out of the buses. Enjoy the rest of your thankful Thursday. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. Bye. Let we go.